In a world where gods walked among mortals and music carried the power to move even the most unfeeling souls, there existed a love so pure and so tragically bound that it would be remembered for generations. This is the story of Orpheus, the legendary musician, and Eurydice, the beautiful nymph who captured his heart. Their love was a beacon in the darkness, a flame that refused to be extinguished even by the deepest shadows of the underworld. The beginnings of an unbreakable bond. Orpheus was no ordinary mortal. The son of the muse Calliope and either the god Apollo or a Thracian king, Orpheus was blessed with an extraordinary gift for music. His lyre, a gift from Apollo, was his constant companion. With it, he could tame the wildest beasts, calm raging rivers, and even make trees sway to his melodies. It was said that his music could melt the hearts of the gods themselves, a testament to the power he wielded. In the lush meadows and whispering forests of Greece, Orpheus met Eurydice, a graceful nymph whose beauty rivaled that of the most exquisite blossoms. Her laughter was like the gentle rustling of leaves, and her smile shone brighter than the morning sun. It was love at first sight, a connection so deep and instantaneous that it felt predestined. They were bound together, heart and soul, their love an eternal dance in the harmonious world Orpheus's music created. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and soon, they were married. Their union was a celebration of joy and harmony, with nature itself seeming to bless their bond. Flowers bloomed more vibrantly, rivers flowed more serenely, and birds sang more sweetly. Orpheus and Eurydice were inseparable, and for a time, happiness was their constant companion. The shattering of happiness. But fate is a cruel mistress, and the gods often weave destinies fraught with sorrow. Not long after their marriage, a shadow fell over Orpheus and Eurydice's idyllic world. One fateful day, as Eurydice wandered through a sunlit meadow, she was pursued by Aristeus, a shepherd or minor god. Fleeing his unwanted advances, she ran swiftly through the underbrush, her heart pounding with fear. In her haste, she failed to notice a serpent coiled in the grass. The snake struck, sinking its fangs into her ankle, and within moments, Eurydice succumbed to the venom. Orpheus was devastated. His world, once filled with the warmth of Eurydice's love, now felt empty and cold. His music, once a testament to his joy, became a dirge of sorrow, echoing the anguish in his heart. No mortal or god could console him, his grief was boundless. Driven by an unrelenting yearning to be reunited with his beloved, Orpheus resolved to take the most perilous journey of all, a descent into the underworld, the realm of the dead. The journey to the underworld. Armed with only his lyre and the love he bore for Eurydice, Orpheus ventured into the underworld. This was a realm where no living being had ever triumphed, a land of shadows and despair ruled by Hades and Persephone. The path was treacherous, lined with spirits of the dead who groaned and wailed in their eternal torment. Yet Orpheus's music guided him, a light in the darkness that even the spirits paused to hear. As he approached the river Styx, the boundary between the living and the dead, Orpheus's music softened the heart of Charon, the grim ferryman. Moved by Orpheus's mournful melodies, Charon agreed to ferry him across. Cerberus, the fearsome three-headed guardian of the underworld, too was lulled into a gentle slumber by the soothing strains of Orpheus's lyre. No obstacle could stand against the power of his love, expressed so hauntingly through his music. At last, Orpheus stood before Hades and Persephone. The king and queen of the underworld were accustomed to pleas from the dead, but never had a living mortal stood before them, making such a heartfelt appeal. Orpheus played his lyre, and his sorrowful song filled the vast hall. He sang of his love for Eurydice, of the life they had planned together, and of the emptiness he now felt. Even the cold heart of Hades was moved, and tears fell from Persephone's eyes. The bargain and the condition. Hades, known for his unyielding nature, made an unprecedented decision. He agreed to release Eurydice, but on one condition: Orpheus must not look back at her as they made their way to the world of the living. If he did, she would be lost to him forever. It was a test of faith, a trial to see if Orpheus could truly trust that Eurydice was behind him, even if he could not see her. Orpheus accepted, his heart swelling with hope. Together, they began their ascent from the underworld, Eurydice following closely behind. The path was steep and treacherous, and the darkness seemed to press in on them. Each step was a test of Orpheus's resolve. He longed to turn, to see Eurydice with his own eyes, to reassure himself that she was truly there. The silence between them was unbearable, and doubt began to creep into his mind. The fatal glance. As they neared the mouth of the cave that led back to the world of the living, the light of day began to break through the darkness. Orpheus stepped into the sunlight, and his heart raced with joy. But in that moment, the fear of having come so far only to lose her gripped him. He turned to look at Eurydice, desperate to confirm she was still behind him. Their eyes met for the briefest of moments. Eurydice's form was bathed in the light, but just as quickly, she began to fade. Her expression was one of love and sorrow, and her final words were a whispered farewell as she was pulled back into the shadows of the underworld. Orpheus reached for her, but it was too late. She was gone, lost to him forever. The aftermath of loss. Orpheus was inconsolable. He had failed, and the weight of his mistake crushed him. His music, once a source of hope and beauty, became a lament of eternal sorrow. He wandered the earth, a shadow of his former self, playing songs that echoed the grief of his broken heart. The natural world mourned with him, and even the gods felt pity for his plight. In some versions of the tale, Orpheus's end came at the hands of the Maenads, followers of Dionysus, who were enraged by his refusal to revel and celebrate life. They tore him apart, and his spirit finally reunited with Eurydice in the underworld, where they could be together for eternity. In others, Orpheus lived a long life of solitude, his music a haunting reminder of what he had lost. A love that transcends time. The story of Orpheus and Eurydice is a timeless testament to the power of love and the devastating consequences of doubt. It reminds us of the thin line between faith and fear, and how the smallest moment of weakness can lead to unimaginable loss. Yet it also speaks to the enduring nature of true love, a bond so strong that not even the underworld could sever it. Orpheus and Eurydice's tale has inspired countless works of art, music, and literature, each one attempting to capture the beauty and tragedy of their love. Though their time together was brief, the impact of their story echoes through the ages, a haunting melody that will never be forgotten.